Hi, this is Joe again with another review. And for the subject of this video, we're going to be, and I referred to it in my last video, those of you who watched it, about the presidential election. And I referred to this talk show in my last review, so I figured, hey, that'd be a good topic. So I'm going to be reviewing one of the more infamous talk shows that came down the pike. And I'm going to refer to it why. And it's the Rosie O'Donnell show. It was aired on television on American television from 1996 to 2002. And let me tell you, this is one of the most, at the time, it was one of the most widely praised, and then of course, obviously, one of the more controversial shows, which I'm going to get to in a minute. Of course, it starred comedian and film actress Rosie O'Donnell, who of course was fresh off doing movies like League of Their Own and the Flintstone movie, basically Betty Rubble, and of course some of the, and of course she also made fame, started off in the fame as a comedian, or a stand-up comedian, and then she got movie roles, and then of course it was you'll be good for a talk show. So she got this talk show deal, and she got widely praised for it. And I did watch her show. When I was home, I was able to see it. The first few weeks, because I just started finishing my first year getting my degree in photography, so I had to be home, or days off when I didn't have any classes. I happened to watch the show, and I'm telling you, at first I thought it was a very entertaining show. It was like a cross between the Mike Douglas show and Merv Griffin in the way that Rosie did the show. She would come out doing a little bit of a monologue for a couple minutes, and then she'll talk about the guests she's going to have or guests she wants to have during that week. And then of course the rest of the show she pretty much interviews guests. She does maybe a trivia contest. So she did a pretty, I would say, a fair job on her talk show. But of course there was various problems with her show, which of course we're going into. One of the big problems is, of course, what a lot of people know is that, which it's not a state secret, that Rosie O'Donnell claimed that she's a lesbian. The reason why I said the word claimed is because anybody who watches the talk show every day knows that there's a bunch of bullshit with her claiming that she's a homosexual. The reason why I said that is because, like I said, if you haven't watched her show, but every single time when she had a good-looking guy on her show, doesn't matter who it is, every time she had a good-looking celebrity, a man on her show who was good-looking, was like a stud, and women go crazy over, she went crazy over him. So if you happen to be gay, why would you go crazy over men like that? And that's why when the show aired on television, and people were giving it, and it was around the same time that Ellen DeGeneres, ironically Ellen DeGeneres had her sitcom. She came out of the closet, and actually, of course, all the gay groups, like the Gay Lesbian Alliance, GLAAD or something, I think it was called GLAAD, the acronym. They were all excited that we actually have a mainstream sitcom star who came out of the closet. And around the same time, Rosie O'Donnell came out of the closet, almost the same time, like within a few months of each other, between Ellen's announcement and Rosie's announcement. And the problem is that all these gay and lesbian organizations that support, not only support gay rights, but fight for gay rights, they are not supporting Rosie O'Donnell at all. Especially, I don't know about now, but at the time that she made the announcement during her talk show run, the reason is because, like I just referred to, every time that Rosie O'Donnell had a good-looking guy on her show, she went over the top with it, saying, "Oh, you're my cutie patootie," and all this other garbage. So the gay and lesbian groups refused to endorse her coming out party, so to speak. I think maybe miffed Rosie a little bit, because hey, you support Ellen DeGeneres when she came out, why aren't you supporting me? It's because Rosie is being a phony about her sexuality. That's what it is. I mean, if you're a homosexual, doesn't matter if you're a homosexual man or a homosexual woman, you do not hit on the heterosexual sex. So, and now I'm trying to explain. That's like me. Let's say I flirt with women, and then all of a sudden I say, "Hey, I'm actually homosexual," which I'm not. I'm not a homosexual at all. But if I say that I was a homosexual, let's say, and I flirt with women like crazy, it would be like a phony about it. And that's what Rosie O'Donnell is. I mean, she's supposed to be gay. You know, when she had her talk show, she keeps flirting with all these guys. You can't do that. If you're gay, you cannot do that. I'm sorry, you can't do that. I flirt with women all the time because I'm not. I'm a heterosexual. I'm a heterosexual, and I flirt with women all the time. Especially even if women who are friends of mine, I flirt with them like crazy. But that's because I'm heterosexual. But Rosie, on the other hand, she says she's gay even when she flirts with guys on her talk show. That's why now these gay groups are not supporting her because of that. And the most famous one is, of course, Tom Cruise. When her show first started, and that's when her ratings started coming in, and she was getting very good ratings for her show, the thing that she wanted to do was, of course, get Tom Cruise on her show. I mean, she was getting some decent name celebrities on her show, from Celine Dion to, of course, Madonna, of course, the most famous one. She was getting some pretty good A-list celebrities, but the one that she wanted the most was Tom Cruise. And she had like a digicord by her desk, which she would press buttons and she would play like songs, a bunch of songs on. And of course, one of the songs that she had programmed in it was, of course, the song from the Who, "Tommy, Can You Hear Me," from the Tommy album from the Who. So naturally, she's constantly played that bit of the song, saying "Tommy, Can You Hear Me," constantly on her show. So eventually, they said, "Hey, Tom's publicists and Tom's agents and stuff said, well, hey Tom, why don't you do Rosie's show?" And first, he didn't want to do it because Rosie O'Donnell is a disgusting person. In many ways, she's a disgusting person. That's physically disgusting, and if you constantly watch her all the time, she will constantly make you sick. I felt that way because she's not an attractive person. I'm not saying that because she's fat. I mean, I'm fat myself. But I'm saying she's not physically attractive. And of course, there was also a time when she kissed somebody. She kissed a man who appeared on her show, one of the cutie patooties she likes having on her show. And she said kissing her is like kissing your sister, because she claimed that she had bad breath. She claimed all this stuff, and it was really, really horrible. What was going on? So eventually, Tom Cruise came on her show. Make a long story short, and of course she literally pounced. She like tackled him. She literally tackled him and knocked him over and was pouncing on him and kissing him like crazy. I mean, it was really disgusting, really disturbing. And this is the woman who says she's gay. If she was gay, she wouldn't be acting. She wouldn't act like that to Tom Cruise. I wouldn't act like that to, let's say, Halle Berry or Celine Dion or Debbie Gibson, who I'm fans of. If I ever meet Debbie Gibson in person, I would not pounce on her like that. And Rosie O'Donnell did, and she says, "Oh, I'm actually gay." And she wouldn't. If she was really gay, she wouldn't pounce on Tom Cruise like that. It was really. I know that clip is on YouTube. Probably is if you find it. It was really disgusting and appalling display, and that's what really started to turn me off of watching Rosie O'Donnell's show, because of how she treats good-looking guys on her show. And also not only that, but towards the end of her run of a talk show, the television show Survivor had just started like in 2000. So every time that she was like a big fan of Survivor, so she got in conjunction with the show to have people who were voted off of Survivor come on her show, and she only would make sure that she had the good-looking guys. Every time there was a good-looking guy on Survivor who got voted off the island, or the beach, or whatever, she had him have that guy on the show, call him a cutie patootie, and she would flirt with them and hit on him, and say, "This is somebody who is actually gay, who says he's gay." And of course, at that point, I pretty much stopped watching the Rosie O'Donnell show. And Rosie was supposed to be such a big fan of Survivor, but I think by the third or fourth season, Rosie actually hosted the live reunion show. It was the only other time that either Jeff Probst or originally was Brian Gumbel, who used to host the Survivor reunion show during that season finale. I think he did like the first 2 or 3 times. Rosie did like I think during the 4th season, and then the rest of the seasons after that, subsequent seasons after that, Jeff Probst did, because it was like an upper disaster. Because Rosie was saying all the good-looking guys who was on Survivor for that particular season. Well, now I'm saving for the most controversial part of the whole Rosie O'Donnell show, and that's of course what happened in 1999, and you can see this clip is on YouTube, with the famous fight that she had with actor Tom Selleck, who was like a television legend. He was from Magnum PI, and now he stars on Blue Bloods, which is like one of the best shows on TV. If you haven't checked it out, you're really missing out on Blue Bloods. Anyway, in 1999, that's when he had the infamous Columbine High School shooting, where I think 11 students and I think 2 teachers, 11, I think like about 13 students, I think 1 teacher was killed in that mass shooting, and not including the 2 shooters who killed themselves. Unfortunately, around the same time, there was a print ad. I'm not exactly sure where it was, if it was in a newspaper or a magazine, that Tom Selleck did for the National Rifle Association, because he was a not really a spokesman, but he's like I think he was like a member of the NRA. He had some connection with the NRA. I wasn't really sure what it was, if it was a spokesman for him, or he was a member of the NRA, whatever it was. I think he was a member of the NRA. Now again, it was still at the time when Charlton Heston, the great Hollywood actor, was the president of the NRA, which he was. And Charlton Heston was the president of the NRA for a long, long time, until he had to retire because he developed Alzheimer's, and a couple years later, he unfortunately passed away from Alzheimer's. But anyway, I digress. Tom Selleck did an ad or print ad for the NRA around the time of the Columbine shooting, which happened in April. It was like April 20th. I think it was like April 19th or 20th of 1999. So it was around approximately the same week or a week or 2 later. This print ad came out with Tom Selleck talking about how good the NRA is. So Rosie O'Donnell got pissed off. She got quote unquote dramatized about what happened with the Columbine shooting, like a lot of people did. So what happened was Tom Selleck was going to appear on Rosie's show, on Rosie O'Donnell's show, to hype a movie that he did with, ironically, Ellen DeGeneres. And Rosie decided to pounce on him. And instead of talking about the movie that he did with Ellen, which I think he played like a fireman. I forgot what the name of the movie was, but it's supposed to be playing a fireman in the movie. Instead of talking about the movie, she talked about how dare he do an ad for the NRA, or the National Rifle Association. How dare you do an ad for them after the Columbine shooting? Well, of course, the ad was made up before the Columbine shooting, and it just happened to, it's just bad timing. Basically is what it was. I mean, he did the ad like months before the Columbine shooting, because of the schedules and all that stuff. So he did like before the Columbine shooting, and he just happened to come out in the newspaper, or the ad came out in the newspapers, or magazine, wherever the hell this ad was from. I never saw the ad personally, but wherever the hell it was, it just happened to come out a couple of weeks after the Columbine shooting, or a few days or that week, but whenever it came out. And so Rosie would talk about for about like 20-25 minutes, just bashing him or doing this ad for the NRA. How dare you do an ad for the NRA? Because it wasn't for the NRA. The NRA blocks gun rights gun rights. Anytime when the Congress or the Senate wants to block, wants to have tougher gun laws, the NRA always comes in and blocks it, or they run the Republican Party, and they do this, they do that, and Tom Selleck and she was accusing Tom Selleck of being a spokesman for the NRA, and he says, "Look, I'm not a spokesman for the NRA, but you did an ad for him, Tom. You did an ad for him. This not a spokesman. I don't know what it is." And Tom Selleck, you could tell if you watched the video on YouTube, you could tell that Tom Selleck was about to lose it. But thankfully, Tom Selleck has something that Rosie O'Donnell doesn't have, and that's class. And he did not lose his temper. So look, I don't support the end. Yes, they did an ad for him, but I'm not a spokesman for him. They do a lot of good things. People think that they control Congress and the Senate, which is not true. They do contribute money, but they don't control anybody. They don't control me. And that's an ad for him, and that's it. I don't speak for him. I don't work for him. I'm not the president. I'm not the vice president. I'm not the secretary. I just did having to do an ad, which came out bad timing because of the shooting. That's it. Period. But Rosie didn't give a shit and bashed him for the support during the NRA. And Rosie got praised at the Daytime Emmy Awards, which was like a couple of weeks later. Around the same time, gave her credit for I think the soap opera that won that year in the 1999 Emmys. The same year that Susan Lucci finally won the Emmy for Best Actress. The people who won, the producers who won for Best Daytime Drama, thanked Rosie for being so tough on gun laws. I mean, please. And of course, what happened after that was true. She got bashed for it because how dare she criticize Tom Selleck? Because she got more flack than Tom Selleck did. I mean, we're trying to be an epic disaster for Rosie O'Donnell for going after Tom Selleck the way she did. Not saying she doesn't have a right to go after somebody, but the way she handled it, she was totally unprepared for anything. She doesn't want to just attack him for it. And Tom Selleck, to his credit, says, "I'm never going to appear on Rosie O'Donnell's show after that." And it's true. He never appeared on her show after that. And even when Tom Selleck was when Rosie O'Donnell was on The View, later on, or years later, after her talk show ended, Tom Selleck never appeared on The View while Rosie was there, because of what happened. Now, of course, I already mentioned earlier about how much of a phony she is about being gay. She's fooling with the gun control thing. Because after when she, about a couple of weeks after she bashed Tom Selleck on her talk show, Rosie made an appearance on the Today Show. And the Today Show was the studio for the Today Show in NBC Studios is the same building that has the studio for Rosie O'Donnell's show. So it's pretty convenient for Rosie to do an interview with the Today Show. And Katie Couric, who is as much of a liberal as Rosie is, attacked her because of the fact that Katie Couric found out that Rosie, who has at that time she had a big estate in Westchester County in New York, and Katie Couric found out, or at least someone on her staff found out, that Rosie gave permission to her security guard, because she has security on her estate. She gave permission to her security staff to go, or at least one member of her security staff, to go get a gun permit, so that when he's on the job protecting her fat ass, he can carry a gun when protecting her. So it's okay to have armed security guards to protect her, but it's not okay for Tom Selleck to do an ad for the NRA. So when that news came out, the ratings for her talk show dropped, like that. That's because she bashed Tom Selleck and her phoniness about the gun rights thing. Like all of the liberal Hollywood phonies was that, I want to move to Canada if Donald Trump gets elected president. Well, one, already, who said she would move, decided, nah, I'm not going to move. I'm going to stay here in the United States. And that's Amy Schumer. She said, I'm going to move to Canada if Donald Trump is elected president. But she says, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay in the United States. That proves already how phony the Hollywood liberal phonies, how phony they are. The people the Hollywood liberals. They defend certain things and then they turn around and do the exact opposite of what they say in public, or what they say in YouTube videos or in interviews or whatever. They say, "Oh, I'm going to do this," but we want to do the thing that they are offended about. Like have an armed security to protect you, or you are against gun, or you're for gun control. But when it comes to your safety, you're for guns. You're for guns, protecting yourself, but you're against guns for everybody else. That's what it means by phony, and that's what Rosie O'Donnell is being phony about. And of course, 3 years later, her talk show ended. And then, of course, she went on The View, and there was also another epic disaster when she went on attacking Elizabeth Hasselbeck, who ironically was on the television show Survivor. She was on the second season of Survivor. Elizabeth Hasselbeck was, and she is a staunch Republican. And they went back and forth a lot about the Iraq War, because Elizabeth Hasselbeck was defending George Bush a lot, and Rosie kept bashing George Bush, bashing the war, bashing the no blood for all crap. Those of you remember that in 2003. And meanwhile, because of that stuff, Rosie quit because they had the famous split screen between Elizabeth Hasselbeck and Rosie O'Donnell, and Rosie quit over that. And of course, and then for a while after that, after a while, Rosie came back to The View, and that was even worse than the first time she was on. Just as bad. The first time she was on, and Rosie ended up having a heart attack. Too bad she didn't die. Naturally, you don't wish anybody to die, but in Rosie's case, I make an exception. Because she's such a liberal, phony idiot. Attacking Elizabeth Hasselbeck for just simply disagreeing with her. I mean, you're not allowed to disagree with Rosie O'Donnell. That's simple. But I'm glad that she doesn't have a job on television anymore. I'm glad of that. I think she also does videos like I do. But unfortunately, Rosie, like Hillary Clinton, just go away. Just get lost. You lost. It's like Hillary. You lost the election. Just get out. Just get the hell out. Same thing with Rosie. Just get out. Just get off the planet. Please, just get off the planet. And I'm just glad that Rosie's show is not longer. True, it's been 14 years, something like that. The show's been off the air. I'm glad she's off the air because of the stuff I talked about already. And I can't believe it was discussed over 20 minutes talking about stupid Rosie O'Donnell. But like I said, I'm glad she's out, and I'm glad that she's no longer affluent. I'm glad that people found out what phony she, like Hillary Clinton. People knew how phony Hillary is. That's why Hillary Clinton lost the election to Trump. Now we'll find out how. At that time, we found out how phony Rosie O'Donnell was. That's time we found out how phony Hillary Clinton was, and hopefully we find out how phony Donald Trump is when he's elected, because he's not going to get anything done. Like I said in my last review, he's not going to get anything done that he said he would. So I went on a little tangent there, but that's my review of the Rosie O'Donnell show. Please click on the video, please rate it, feel free to comment on it, please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. And you can check out all my videos not only on my YouTube channel, but at rowdyc.com. It's all WDY, lastc.com. There's the homepage and the Rowdy Reviewer, Chris Lee Moore. Please check out all of his content on his website as well. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.